Now I'm working on a drawing for eBay. I did this rough pencil drawing and figured out where I wanted the values and things, where I wanted the blacks, what was going on, how the figure's balanced. And you notice here on the balance of the figure I'm using my one-legged man trick, and that's basically you draw the figure balancing on one leg as if they only have one leg, and then you stack everything above it so that the guy won't fall over. Then it doesn't matter so much what you do with the other leg, which isn't the weight-bearing leg. So this is my first attack at it. This whole area back here will be black. And then I flip it over on a light box, and I go through and I just correct and see if everything looks alright. Then I light box that off again. Now I have this, which I'll begin to ink, but sometimes you just go in with black and you throw the black in there, and this time I don't think I'm going to do that. Instead I'm going to start with the line work, build up as much line work as I can before I drop the blacks in. Now I'm not going to video the whole thing, but I'll start a little bit to show you what I mean. And these lines are sort of impressionistic in a way. They're decorative also. So in addition to doing the regular job of delineating things, hopefully also they're adding a sort of a old world decorative quality. And see the directions of this hatching. A lot of this stuff is relatively sort of impressionistic. So anyway, I'm going to cut the camera and finish this up, show it to you, then I'll drop some blacks in. Now you see I put in line work pretty much everywhere I possibly can, short of putting in black areas. And I use two pens. I use this sort of Zig pen, generic, and then a Faber-Castell SX small. So these actually have a brush point on them too, and the ink is good archival quality. So I'm going to use this to throw some blacks on here real quick. You'll see how I plan this thing out so that the blacks that go around the figure don't obstruct things like the hair, which is black. Otherwise, you know, in comics, so you typically use a ghost line to so they don't wind up with this black against black thing, and you can't tell what's what. So, I'm pretty loose with this because I don't want it to look, you know, as if it was meticulously filled in. And this part's not interesting especially, but once we get in here on the figure, you see I can add in some interesting black stuff. Not too much, like I said, because I want him to be against the background. I did decide that was going to be black. Like so. Come in here. This will begin to give you an idea of how much contrast I'm going to get ultimately when all this is filled in with black. But I'm not going to bore you with all that. I'm just going to kill the camera and come back. I had to come back just to show this little trick I do with a post-it note in an effort to sort of break up the deadness of the markers. I do this to make the marker look like it's fading off the page. See? Pretty clever effect, eh? So, this is just about getting there. This is a sort of a man versus, oh, I don't know, harpy, gorgon sort of guy down here. Guy, girl, something like that. Some reflections in the fresh blood. Yeah. So anyway, now not much left except the, tweaking, fine tuning, stuff like that, which I'm not going to bore you with, but this will show you in a nutshell how I go about doing this kind of a drawing.